This is a disclaimer. The Other Three podcast may contain uncensored content. Before listening, please relocate or dispose of all small children. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Other Three podcast. I'm Nikos.
I'm Kavika.
And I'm Gannon.
Today, we'll be talking about the movie Edward Scissorhands. Count with me now, everybody. 1, 2, 3, and off we go. As usual, we start off with our 60-second overview. Today, our speedy reviewer will be Kavika. Let's get ready to start the timer.
Wow, it's getting ready to start.
I can't see the timer. This is even more stressful than the last time.
Okay, you guys,
All right,
you ready?
Just give us a countdown.
Okay,
Good.
ready? 3, 2.
Okay, so Edward Scissorhands is a movie where there's a kid named Edward and he has scissor hands. So I don't know how it starts because I was out of the room at that part, but I don't know. I came in when they found Edward in a spooky black and white castle. Their world seemed to be very colored and very different from where Edward lived. I don't know. Am I allowed to spoil? Okay, great. Then, Edward turns out to be a robot, but he has a romance with humans. The main character, woman's daughter. So that's an interesting interesting part of the movie. But he ends up being very good with his hands and cutting hair and shaving ice sculptures and stuff like that. And I know how that sounds, and that's why the disclaimer was there.
And the end.
No more
the
talking.
end. That's the end. Don't talk ever again.
Okay.
For the next 3 seconds.
So I guess that means you got to start the...
Yeah, well, thank you for our speedy review. And yeah, I think this movie was pretty interesting. I think it could kind of touch on topics that are probably pretty familiar for a lot of people, kind of like alienation, being left out because of some difference that you have. So I think that was pretty interesting.
I'm being
You
looked at
want,
now.
you want me to go?
I mean, I don't care. Do you want to go?
Just go.
Just go? I don't
Just
know.
go.
I
Just
had
leave.
I had something. Go.
Just leave.
No. Okay. I don't have enough words to talk.
He's gone. Oh, and he's back. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, well, Edward Scissorhands was I don't know, it was an interesting movie. It was the first time I had ever watched it, so I didn't actually get to analyze it very well. But I mean, kind of like Nico said, kind of like you said, just did touch on topics like that. I mean, you could say it was racism, but it's, I mean, just alienation, kind of just like being left out. And it was interesting because he started out really accepted, and then it just got progressively worse throughout the entire movie. What about you, Gannon?
So, what I really liked about the movie was the part that no one saw was the very beginning. Okay, but I will talk about that because no one else
Please
said
do.
anything. So, the very beginning of the movie starts with a grandma and a little girl in a bed who's trying to go to sleep, but the girl doesn't want to go to sleep. And so she asks the grandma, "Will you tell me a story? Like, where does the snow come from?" And the grandma says, "Well, it must all start with scissors." And then she said, "Scissors, Grandma!" And then
Yeah, valid reaction.
And then Grandma says, "Yes, the scissors can be used for lots of things. There was even a man with scissors for hands." And so she like changed topics like that. So you sort of like think you're gonna lose the story of the snow and all that stuff. Like she's going off like
I
a
forgot
side
about that
quest.
part.
And I don't think you were there. Were you?
Well, no, I mean, because then it comes back to that at the end.
Yeah,
it shows
it
the
does.
grandma at the end again.
Something really
continuing to tell the story.
Something really interesting about those shots, I thought, though, was everyone seemed small in those scenes. It was really pulled back. The furniture all looked really large in comparison to them, sort of like showing how they don't seem to have a big role in the story in the way that you would think, because they don't really come back to them until later. But when you do see them later, they do get more bigger shots other than the child the grandma does, because we get more background on that. And I think it's interesting like that.
Johnny Depp existed in this movie. That's always fun.
That is fun. Yes, he played Edward very, very well as an awkward
Yeah.
thing.
Awkward.
I mean, Johnny
I don't know.
Depp is known for his ability to play the very eccentric roles, which I definitely think he did very well. in this movie.
I got very attached to Edward Scissorhands, and especially after his technical father died while trying to give him normal hands.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
would you give him a high five?
Debatable.
I'll think about
I might. I mean, I'd have to make sure that everything I wanted to do for the day is done, and then I could.
Then you can
But,
bandage up
you
his
know,
hands
then-
for the night.
Then it'll work.
They call you Kavika Bandage Hands.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to agree with Edward. They really do a good job of making you feel sympathy for this person that doesn't quite know what's going on with the world and who hasn't really had that parental figure in their life. And
Parental figure? That's a perfect segue to our segment, What's Even Going On? With our favorite parental figure, Ace.
Hello.
He has 7 children. I've met them all. They're great.
Severed children?
7.
Yep.
7 children.
Yep, 7.
So what were your thoughts on
Soon,
this?
soon it's gonna be 6.
oh, dang! What's gonna go on?
He was looking at me when he said that. I didn't like that.
Okay.
Are you one of his
Anyway.
kids?
Kavika, you okay?
I
No,
thought I was
I-
safe.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
He blinked once. We're fine.
Okay.
For our audio listeners.
No, I don't have children. None of them are gonna die. It's fine. So I have not seen this movie, so that's why I kind of know what's going on.
What were your thoughts? How
Um,
did you feel about this movie?
so I have seen the trailer for this movie. I have also seen some of Johnny Depp's other works, in film. So, the whole premise of this guy who has this deformity, you could say.
I would call it that.
Yeah, I mean it's not a natural deformity, but
Yeah, but
it's definitely
scissors-
different from.
Scissors are normal.
Yeah, scissors are creepy.
Oh.
That's why I never choose scissors and rock paper. The third.
I always choose rock.
I always choose scissors, so I'm sorry.
Oh
That
snap!
freaks you out.
Are you creepy? Are you one of those creepy
let's see.
people?
Let's see if I'm creepy.
Okay.
Ready?
Right.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my gosh,
I've been-
Nico's won with the classic rock versus
Yeah, I
scissors combat. Anyway,
Who's your favorite character?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's favorite character?
Besides Edward.
Yeah. come on.
besides Edward,
Yeah, you want-
There's a lot of characters to choose from.
Yeah, just
There's
anyone.
the creepy
don't
old
tell him.
lady.
Don't. Give him a second to
I
guess.
personally think the Bushes were the best characters. You know,
There was a dinosaur bush.
It was pretty
because you there's definitely some character growth in Edward's trimmings.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ungrowing, but it's definitely shaped them more into recognizable bushes.
That's
Yeah,
deep.
it's
Yeah.
really interesting how you say that
Um,
because
Yeah. I on the topic of not Edward Scissorhands, Johnny
Well, that's-
Depp's other roles. For example, I've seen Sweeney Todd. Johnny Depp plays main character Sweeney Todd in that movie. Pirates of the Caribbean. Just movies like that where he does play again that eccentric character, that kind of is different from everyone else. Like in Sweeney Todd, he's really depressed and then starts murdering people. Yeah,
Luckily, Edward
told me
Scissorhands would
about
never
this one.
murder anyone.
he would.
I thought it was
he
the
would
same
never-
movie, but then I watched the movie. It's not the same.
It's not the same. No.
No, there is no murder. There's almost rape. There's no murder.
Whoa.
That's the creepy old woman.
Oh, we don't need to talk about her. She's a bad lady.
Yeah,
that's all
no,
we
I
need to
didn't
know.
watch the scene. Me and Gannon talked through that
yeah,
one.
we looked at each other and looked away and started talking. So
Yeah, so-
But from what I could gather, apparently because of his scissor hands, he scared her away, so she didn't get to.
Anyway, let's
Very
say-
brave boy.
Get to.
Anyway, let's move on now to anything
Talking.
else.
Yeah, I dislikes in the movie. I don't know. I mean, I think it was overall a pretty good movie. At times, the vibe of it felt kind of weird, which I guess is to be expected because it kind of is a weird movie with a weird main character, and that's the vibe it's going for. But for me personally, when I'm watching a movie, I just don't like it very much. In this case, they did it, and I think they did it well, which I guess is the problem to me. So it's kind of a weird criticism.
The problem is what they were trying to do. They did good.
Yeah.
Because they did it good. You don't
Because
like
they
it.
did it good, I don't like it because I don't like that specifically.
Well, I'm gonna say I want to go back to what Ace was talking about, the Bushes, because Bush's character growth wasn't really a thing. But I'm gonna say that what did happen though is he started by trimming bushes, and then he went to dogs, and then he went to hair. But then at the end of the movie, when he gets really angry or sad about something, he starts destroying these bushes, sort of seeing how everyone's starting to see him backpedal from the character he was into more of a awkward person again, and why everyone's afraid of him, which I thought was interesting.
All the boyfriend's fault. All the boyfriend's fault. It was sad. But then he starts shaving ice.
What's wrong with your boyfriend?
It's not. Oh my god. Okay. Maybe I should stop talking. I don't.
You said it was your boyfriend's fault.
I said
wrong?
all the boyfriend's fault.
Oh.
The boyfriend of
So it wasn't
The
your boyfriend's
main-
fault.
the main teenage girl
Yeah.
Oh.
who turns out to be the grandma in the end.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Spoilers.
That
I
one.
haven't seen the movie, man.
Hey, come on.
I think that's the point.
That's why you're not supposed to know what you're talking about.
I feel like we gotta end this on a very important note.
Okay, what's your important?
Bullying people isn't nice, and you shouldn't do that.
Or else you might get killed by Edward Scissorhands.
It's true, I'll send him after you. On that note, though, thanks for joining us on today's episode of The Other Three Podcast. And always remember, don't worry about the first two.